tool company. Well, my definition of tool is anything that makes your life a little simpler. These are wireless remote controlled outlets. But what makes them so different and what makes them so unique is that these work on a radio frequency. Unlike your remote control for your television set that has to be pointed directly at the TV, and it has to be in line of sight. If the sensor on the TV doesn't see the red light on the remote, it won't work. With a radio transmitter like this, I can beam it through brick walls, through stone walls, through tremendous distance for a range of up to 100 feet. So let's use an analogy. Let's say you go up to bed and you've got that table lamp in the living room and you're laying there and you go, did I turn that lamp off? I'm at the age where I don't trust my own memory. With this, you can take the remote control. You don't even have to beam it at the floor if you're on the second. Just hit the remote control, and if the lamp was plugged into either plug number 1, plug number 2, or plug number 3, it'll shut that lamp off. That same lamp, if you took the remote control with you when you went to the office the next day and it was in your car when you pulled into your driveway, you could turn that lamp on while you were still outside your house. Even if your home was a brick home or a stone home, the radio wave will go through it. 100 feet of range. Think of the convenience. Now, things that never had remote controls in your home, you'll have remote controls. I think that's a really impressive way to go. Now, by the way, it couldn't be easier. It's a regular plug and a regular plug. So what are some of the things that you can use this for? Timers are still a relatively new thing. Maybe you've got a coffee maker that doesn't have a timer built into it. Then go ahead and use one of these, okay? Oh, people are listening. People are actually listening to me. Jonathan, I said bring your pet. I know that little weenie dog. How are you, Sarah? Sarah Codalesi is our representative for this item. How are you?
Yeah. I'm great, but there's kind of like this unwritten rule right now that's going around social media that if you're the one cuddled on the couch, you know, cuddling your dog, everyone else gets to wait on you by hand and foot.
Yes.
But let me tell you, Dan, this is like that instant pampering because you can turn any outlet into a remote controlled outlet simply with Black & Decker. But yeah, this is Arlo. He's keeping me company.
Arlo, he got big.
Oh, he got really big. He kind of like tripled in size, quadrupled in size.
When Sarah
he
got
started
him,
out as a little 3-pounder.
he looked like a real hot dog. He was like that big.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Oh, he's so cute. Arlo's wonderful. This fits into anybody's home, apartment,
it does.
dwelling, college dorm room. To have a remote control for anything that you want is a convenience factor. But let's face it, we've become a little spoiled, have we not?
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. I mean, think about how much you love the remote for your television, right? Can you imagine having to turn on and off the TV by getting up and going to it every single time?
What are you, barbaric?
It's become that easy, right? But what I love, again, this fits in any outlet. Again, 3-prong grounded outlet, which is awesome. Space-saving design. So the plug is actually on the side, so you can butt anything up against it. You're going to get a set of 3. No app, no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, no account, no recharging. You simply comes paired with the remote, like I said, but you can turn on simply the light behind me or light next to me. Let me come this way.
Go for it.
Because I have, supporting my favorite team back in that corner. And then I have the fan right next to me. I didn't have to go to any of those light switches. I didn't have to go up and underneath it. Simply by that, I can turn them off by themselves. But then, like, if it's 4:30, 5 o'clock, and now I want to walk into a dark room without having to walk into the dark room, I just simply hit the remote and everything can come on at the same time.
I'll tell you why I like it so much. And I was sharing the story with my producer today. Mm-hmm. We have this whole definition of this thing called the smart home. Have you heard the technology? The smart home. What if I'm not that smart of a guy? All right? There's no Bluetooth app on this. I'm not downloading anything. I'll tell you a story. I don't want to embarrass the individual involved. Jonathan knows who he is. That's my producer. He bought smart plugs for his home.
Yeah.
Went to a big store where you buy drywall and screws and paint and bought, and don't feel bad, buddy, I've done the same thing, bought what were called smart receptacles. But it was so complex with that, what you had to download and hook up to the internet and do all of that stuff. With this, all you do is plug it in,
Right.
and the remote control works. And that's a universal remote. So you've got plug number 1, plug number 2, plug number 3, and the plugs are marked 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, so you can control them individually, or those buttons at the top.
Yep.
It's a kind of like that master switch. You can turn everything on and off at the same time. But I'm showing you everything in one room. But what's really, really nice is that you could have one room, with a light here. Maybe you could have another in the family room. Maybe you could have that foyer light. And it really doesn't matter because you have the ability to control everything here. I love the idea that, you always have a place where you put your keys and then you take your keys, right? The last thing that you touch before you leave the home. What if you put this remote kind of in that key spot? So this way, when you walk back in the house, you drop off your keys, you can go ahead and pick up your remote. And maybe I just want to plan, and, light up one area. I can just turn it on. 100-foot range. So through walls, doors, and floors, no batteries again, everything comes instantly paired back to the outlet. But as much as I love tech, tech pretty much rules our lives, right? From the minute we wake up to the minute we go to bed. But I love the simplicity of this. And it's all about working smarter, not harder. But this is really easy and it's really, really fun. So, right, there's no app. There's nothing to worry about. You get this out of the box and decide what you want to control with a remote. But the thing is, too, it's not permanent. You can change this around. If you decide, during the summer months that you're spending more time in the basement, you could bring the remote, and the outlets down to the basement. They're not wired anywhere. And it doesn't matter. Like, you just have the remote. Now, if you pick up extra sets, which is awesome, you can actually put maybe all the number 1s in one room and all the number 2s in another and all the number 3s in the other. Remotes are going to work the same way on, simply by touching it, and that green light back in that corner, and then the fan right next to me too. But what else can you do this for? Fans, humidifiers, that coffee maker, anything that doesn't come with a remote already, you simply plug directly into that 3-pronged rounded outlet and just enjoy. It's really, really easy. And again, work smarter, not harder when it comes to kind of lighting up your world.
Sarah, my wife bought these absolutely gorgeous bedside table lamps. I hate them. I shouldn't have said that. Should not have said. The way these lamps are made, no normal human being, unless they work for Dirks du Soleil or whatever it is in Vegas, or they're an actor, can get their hand underneath that thing from a laying position to get it turned off. And it's a foot away from. It's a foot from my head. A foot from. Having I would love the idea of a remote, just for that. Don't tell my wife I said that.
I know, but
No,
you know
she
what,
never
Dan?
watches my
Sitting in that
shows, it's
recliner, under a blanket, all tucked in with the light on. Maybe I was reading, and now I just want to kind of watch TV for a little bit without moving. I simply click a button, and I'm able to control the lights right next to me. So it's brilliant technology. It really is.
Thanks for introducing the audience to your lovely, lovely puppy.
Thanks.
And saying
I
hello,
can't have
Sarah.
Greg or Scott or Amy one-up me on this one, right?
I agree.
I got to get in there.
I agree.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you, my
dogs
friend.
at QVC. Yes. See you soon.